up, Pom-Pom?
Just got a message from the Xianzhou La Fu. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going? Soon, the Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary War Dance. Those who have aided the Luofu in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the Xianzhou. Thus, on behalf of the Seat of Divine Foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony.
Well, things are getting lively. We've barely recovered from the family's Charmony Festival, and we're already being invited to another special event.
Why not think about it this way? Our trailblazing expeditions are turning into blast expeditions, where we eat, drink, and play wherever we go.
Blast? Expedition?
Yeah! Wherever we go, we eat, play, and have a blast!
So we should leave March behind to take care of the...
Hey! That's not what I meant! I'm all for some fun. I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like Friday or Saturday.
The Xianzhou Luofu has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
But that's what everyone said before we went to Penacony. You'll be totally safe under the family.
No need to worry. The war dance is not like the Charmony Festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abomination. Aside from Starskiff performances, it's mostly martial contests. Nothing too different from the Taikian Roboball contest we've seen before.
What do you think, Himiko? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to Amphorius for refueling.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared. With Madame Herta's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from Kalinga Abyss to Ron May, member 81 of the Genius Society. It could earn us some favor.
Aw, so that means...
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, Marge. Since we've been invited, it's also... Here's the plan. Pom-Pom will take everyone to the Xianzhou Luofu. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with Ron May and fulfill our promise. Meanwhile, you, March, and Don Hung will represent the Express and attend the war dance.
What do you two think? I don't hear any objections.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to warp to the Xianzhou Luofu.
Himiko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan fossils and the war dance, the latter definitely sounds more fun. By the way, Don Hung, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the
Just let you two wander around aimlessly on the Luofu by yourselves? Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The Ambrosial Arbor crisis just ended. And both the Long Life and, since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
Coming back to this place brings back so many memories, you know? Hey, I'm not actually gonna recite a poem. I was just thinking about all that this time we're not being forced or enticed or chasing after wanted criminals. And we didn't have quite unusual, I must...
I agree.
louder! I can barely hear anything!
Yanqing said General Jingyu and...
Let's wait for him and...
Hey, you guys! Hold on a moment. Did they just call us? Look at their outfit. Are you familiar with the Xianzhou Lafu?
We know a little bit about it.
We're from Penacony. Maybe you've heard of it. We came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making dream bubbles.
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about coincidence.
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the Lofu?
Exactly! We're Xianzhou, and most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war dance.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
I've heard the ring was actually converted from a huge decommissioned Lofu fighter jet. No doubt about it. It's a massive fighter jet.
But for now, all we can do is wait until the war dance starts in a few weeks, before we can board it. We've still got work to do, so we can't just sit around waiting for it to start. That's why we're asking you about some must-see attractions.
We're looking for unique experiences that you won't find on Penacony. Our clients love these kinds of dream bubbles the most.
You're the expert here. Give them some suggestions.
Good idea. The everyday vibe of the Aurum Alley is a rare find on the planet of festivities.
Everyday vibe. Yeah, our clients have had their fair share of adrenaline-pumping dreamscapes. Maybe something down to earth would touch their hearts.
Thanks for the suggestion. We'll head to the Aurum Alley to gather materials. Maybe we'll run into each other there in a couple of days.
Look, Yanqing's here.
Really? Let's go catch up with him.
There you are! Everyone, this way! Hey, everyone! It's been a while.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you.
What's up, Miss March?
They say kids grow up really fast. Yanqing, are you a little bit taller than before?
We've only been away for a few months.
Long time no see.
It's been a while.
Oh, you've come along too, Mr. Danheng. Sorry for the delay. With the upcoming war dance and the Starskiff Haven being so busy, things are...
Seriously, I've never seen the Lafu so lively before.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff...
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who've come from afar. With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. The Cloud Knights are working hard to keep the security. The General said this ceremony would help the Xianzhou Lafu recover. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to promote trade and peace. By the way, the Xianzhou Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The Xianzhou ships, the Zhuming and the Yaoqing. Yeah, I wonder if you've heard of it. It's known as the Star Forge, and it's responsible for providing more than half of the Cloud Knights' armaments. The Xianzhou Zhuming boasts skilled craftsmasters, and General Huayan is a top-notch craftsman himself. If only I could get a sword forged by him, I'd be on cloud...
By the way, Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking your ear off. The General wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astrum. He's been eager to hear about how the Express has been doing.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can really see his childish side.
agree.
All units, assemble quickly! Get ready to protect the crowd!
Just mentioned security. Now all of a sudden something's gone wrong. Excuse me, I need to go check it.
We'll go with you.
Protect the civilians. I'll deal with him. Why are there Boris in here? This ends now.
Memories beneath the water lies an endless abyss.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Not good. Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
Wait, my sword! I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for now. I need to find out what's going on.
While we appreciate your rescue, my Xianzhou friends, don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection until we figure out the source of the attack. Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and your cargo go.
But this shipment isn't even meant for the Luofu, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
According to the protocol, all cargo arriving on the Luofu.
But we didn't officially enter your dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the Borisons.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead. Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now, tell me, how did according to the protocol, Borisan prisoners should be held on a star skiff and taken directly to the shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the ground?
Please don't blame this, Captain. This incident involves the Zhu Mings.
Who are you?
I'm Lu Chu, officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yanqing. The situation unfolded rapidly. Here's what happened. An IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisan just before arriving, and the Zhu Ming's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue. They fought off the Borisan pirates and imprisoned them on their...
So, an IPC ship was attacked by the Borisan near the Luofu, and the Zhu Ming envoys saved them?
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. Zhu Ming diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal. You know, with all the outsiders flooding onto the Luofu, the star skiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisan desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport star skiff could get there.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. I'll report it to the security department of the Realm Keeping. Maybe I should gather more details from others so that the Seed of Divine Foresight can have a better understanding of the situation.
Oh, you look much maturer now, Yanqing.
Please don't tease me, Miss March. The situation on the Xianzhou before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters.
Those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They are abominations of abundance, and we've been fighting them for a very long time. The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time, plundering and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the swarmed, and their presence has faded over the years. But who would have...
According to that officer, they attacked an IPC ship near the Xianzhou Law.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. Well, enough with the chit-chat. The General wants me to... I'd love to chit-chat a little longer, but there are some things that can't...
Is it a serious matter?
Thank you, but it's no big deal. By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm Keeping Commission to see if I can get it back.
I doubt she did it on purpose. Perhaps she's around here somewhere. Shouldn't we?
All right, let's not keep the General waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent.
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
Success and failure.
It's been a long journey, Elder White. Thank you for your presence.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting...
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astro. All is well when you have friends coming from afar. Allow me to introduce you to General Huayan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming...
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists.
Elder Huayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal... Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of...
It's an honor to meet you, General Huayan.
It's my honor to meet you, General Huayan.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Lawfu. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jingyuin? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor?
Indeed. There's Don Hung, March 7th, and him. Without their help, I'm afraid the Lawfu might not have easily...
So, the Imbibitor Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Lawfu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you, should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huayan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Lawfu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Li.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions then.
What a coincidence! I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh, now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me.
She helped me capture the escaped Borison prisoners at the Starskiff Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag.
Yes, it is. Now that we've met again, I hope...
Nope, that won't do.
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Juming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped Borison prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a kite with a... By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borison prisoner would have gotten away.
Hold on a sec, Li. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing...
So much for Lawfu's swordmasters.
What did you just say?
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. With all due respect, you don't honor your sword, so you don't deserve it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful, because I'm not as...
You too.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
I don't take sides.
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary flame...
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart.
Well, everyone, Elder Huayan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yanqing, why don't you entertain our guests? And take Miss Li to the inn. I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for help.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient...
You needn't apologize, General Huayan.
All right, Li. Take this opportunity to clear...
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just...
Yanqing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the IPC ship. Qingzu sent word that the IPC members are protesting. See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou Lawfu has no intention of...
I'm on it. This is the report Qingzu just sent me. Let me take a look. It looks like the General has given me a tough challenge. He wants me to try and help put the IPC's mind at ease. Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, we not only learn the art of war and martial arts, but also occasionally have to handle diplomatic disputes. It's just, talking talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield. This is especially true when you're up against the IPC. Their non-stop corporate babble. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
It is the Lawfu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from...
You're overthinking it, Genuine. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no ulterior motives. However, I have no clue what the Yao Qing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General... So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk. The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Lawfu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yao Qing, she has come specifically for... Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like lightning. Being late...
That's not true, General Huayan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to, and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yao Qing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Genuine? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huayan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting. Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat. I forgot to ask Yunli to return my sword. No need to bother. The Juming envoys won't be leaving the Lawfu anytime soon. I'll ask for it later when we meet again. By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the general seemed a little...
Reserved?
Maybe I'm just over...
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Juming was actually the Arbiter.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation.
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have two Arbiter Generals from other Xian... Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor...
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Lawfu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Med...
Danshu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence...
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the Plague Mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Lawfu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Or does it indicate a traitorous intent from within the Luofu? Once the spark of suspicion is kindled, the General must have had that in mind when he invited us to attend the ward.
What was I thinking? Seriously, here I was looking forward to a
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Juming diplomatic ship has arrived. And rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master.
An alchemist from the Juming serving as the Cauldron Master on the Luofu?
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dan Hung. Now I finally see the underlying tension. The General is under tremendous pressure right now. But I was completely oblivious to his troubles.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General, it's not like you can do anything. Did I say something wrong?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate...
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. Hey, who's bragging? Anyway, this time it'll just be a few ordinary IPC workers.
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet...
Can I really reason with you, Xianzhou people?
Ugh, that toxic voice sounds familiar. Haven't I heard it before in Arum Alley?
You know what? This isn't my first time dealing with the Skyfaring Commission. I can handle your unreasonable ways. But straight up snatching IPC cargo, isn't that going a bit too far?
Just as I've said it many times already. Once we've inspected the cargo...
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm thinking clear. And my aunt keep detaining my cargo, and I'll file a complaint direct... Don't think you can possibly convince me. You're staying on the Xianzhou, are you? What terrible luck. Wherever you...
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
They're in trouble? No, it's me! I'm the one in trouble!
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I was sent here to deal with the IPC protest, Nishikwe.
As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it. And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of...
So, you're Scott. I've heard him mention you. Weren't you kicked up?
Like I wanted to come back. I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the ship entered the harbor, a bunch of Cloud Knights showed...
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you 1,000,000 times. It's a
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal the IPC's patent.
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo hold.
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Lawfu. We'll just fix the ship and...
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again. How can we just leave unchecked items sitting here?
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the cargo if it's just a security check, right?
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also...
Biological tissue? Does this...
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection...
Oh, really? Fine! If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business.
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly, I really don't want to have... I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right? Since you've dealt with him before, it looks like...
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our car.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and can only be persuaded with intimidation. But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against him.
Speaking of regulations, we have our own laws and regulations too. According to Article 4 of the Xianzhou Alliance IPC Trade Consensus, the Alliance and IPC shall never infringe on each other's intellectual property rights.
Can sign a non-disclosure agreement with you. That way, you won't have to worry about any infringements, right?
We can sign a mutually acceptable non-disclosure agreement in accordance with the IPC's rules.
Well, that makes sense, but how can we trust you to honor the term? Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable, beyond your wildest imagination. If anything goes wrong, you won't be able to pay for it even with your lives.
I've got a brilliant idea. I'll just smash everything with my bat, and then you can hire someone to assess the damage. And that way, your cargo won't need any inspection, right?
Calm down. The General wants us to handle this peacefully.
So, this is the great idea you came up with? Fine. Why don't you just... Besides, cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia Guild. If you want to inspect the cargo, shouldn't you at least call in a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
I'm pretty tight with Dr. Ratio from the Intelligentsia Guild. Almost like family. Doesn't that make me practically a member of the Intelligentsia Guild too?
What's all this nonsense? Even if you were married to him, you still couldn't represent the Intelligentsia Guild. We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Xianzhou operate, right? As an IPC worker, I have to abide by its regulations.
understand that you're trying to stick to the IPC regulations, and that's commendable, Mr. Scott. But what you fail to see is that this argument is tarnishing the IPC's reputation on the Xianzhou. If this conflict with the Skyfaring Commission escalates, it won't just make things difficult for your business, but it'll also have an impact on your career down the line.
Of course, I never wanted conflict with the Xianzhou. Like I said, all I wanted was to retrieve the cargo and be done with it, but they just refused to let us go. Well, you guys sure know how to argue your case. Fine, I'll allow you to do the security inspection. It's just that, I need some time to sort things out.
So, Mr. Scott, are you just stalling for time and planning to leave the Xianzhou as soon?
Well, IPC staff are free to come and go. As long...
Yeah, you've got some insight there. Who...
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Ling Sha, Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the Law Fu.
Could she be? Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Xianzhou Zhuming.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself. It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say...
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and...
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't inspect them.
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed a more reasonable attitude. Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo. According to the import and export regulations signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no threat, or when all biological activity expires. Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only 47?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live...
Ha! Typical of a long-life species. Your words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation from the Skyfaring Commission for every minute wasted.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this victory unfold.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection.
But, Mr. Scott...
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right? Well, honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman. Just get on with the inspection. Don't act all chummy with me now that you've got your way.
This lady is really something else. Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC!
Turn it off! tricky. How unexpected. That this is double speed.
No dirty tricks, all right. It's on me. The dice have bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Oh. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Watch your head.
We have the upper hand. Ready for another?
Another journey destined for oblivion.
Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's way too dangerous.
I had no idea about it. You must have accidentally triggered the cargo's defense program.
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving.
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guest to the sky.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Gentlemen, our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside. Just like the craftsman feared. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological...
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new way.
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borison attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge. I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Linksha.
I should thank you for saving my life. Your sword skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy. I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yen to... Yeah, exactly. As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the law? It's still early. So why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions.
I'd be happy.
And you three are coming too, right?
I'm here to pay my respects.
The news is spreading pretty fast.
All these years, the view of the Alchemy Commission hasn't changed a bit. The tides come and go, but the ancient sea remains the same. For us, Vidyadar...
You're a Lofu native, Miss Linksha?
Yes. I grew up here, listening to the sound of waves while researching It's kind of sad, isn't it? Everything changes, but somehow remains familiar. Just like you, Don Hung.
The view here would be even better without the ambrosial arbor.
Oh, really? I think that towering tree looks pretty impressive.
Even if it's impressive, it's a plague mark. The Xianzhou have been fighting abominations for thousands of years.
Well, once a seed is planted, no matter how long it takes, in my humble opinion, The rebirth of the Ambrosial Arbor and the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were inevitable. My bad. Well, since you went through the entire Ambrosial Arbor crisis firsthand, Dan Heng and Lieutenant Yanqing, I'd like to discuss something.
What would you like to discuss, Miss Linksha?
I was lucky enough to be chosen by the Alliance to come in and clean up all the old grime. And honestly, the Alchemy Commission is riddled with problems and has reached a point where fixing it seems impossible. I'm looking to remedy this problem.
Well, even though I'm a Vidyadharan like you, I'm an outsider, just like my companions here. I can't really say much about a remedy, but the Vidyadhara and the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu have always been intricately connected. If you cannot distance yourself from these ties, Miss Linksha, changing the situation with...
I may not know about politics, but I do know that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been operating within the Alchemy Commission for years. If you're determined to root them out, maybe you should discuss it with the...
I see. Thank you for your valuable insights. While the Lux Arrow from the Rainbow possesses unparalleled power to sever the Ambrosial Arbor, it can't sever mortals' desire to just like how the Cloud Knights can eliminate the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but are unable to calm the hearts and minds of the people within the Alchemy Commission. Our Xianzhou forebears knew this well, and that's why they entrusted the duty of guarding the roots of the Arbor to the Vidyadhara. However, 30 years ago, my mentor served as Alchemy Commission's Cauldron Master. She recognized the emerging undercurrents and sought to cleanse. Unfortunately, even though she was skilled in the art of healing, she didn't understand the human heart or how to eliminate the sickness lurking within the depths of the Alchemy Commission. And guess who arbitrated the case and handed down the sentence? None other than General Jing Yuan himself.
What?
You heard it right. The ones responsible for the corruption in the Alchemy Commission are not just the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but... Alas, why is your face turning... Don't worry about it. I understand that when someone holds a position of power, they may sometimes have to make tough decisions. I won't hold any personal grudges against him. Besides, at our age, holding personal grudges is a luxury we can't afford.
Linksha, you're back! I've been waiting ages for you.
Yunli! Why aren't you with your grandpa? What brings you to the Alchemy Commission? Well, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Yanqing.
What a small world. You stole my sword! Give it back!
I see. Let's skip the introduction part then.
Why do I keep bumping into you? Are you stalking me or something?
Of course not. Unlike you, Miss Yunli, I have important things to take care of. You, on the other hand, seem to have all the time in the world to wander around without returning.
Grandpa used to say that a sword reflects its master. I talked to your sword, and it told me that you've been distracted. You hesitate when you should strike, and you struggle to stay calm when your sword is unsheathed. Now that I see you again, I realize your sword was right. It wasn't me who took your sword.
Do you really expect me to believe that nonsense? I've been taking it easy on you because you're a guest from the Juming, but you're not taking the hint. Don't people from the Juming know you're supposed to return what you've borrowed?
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, it'd just be taken away again in a few hours. You know the Cloud Knight saying, a Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon. Yes? Well, sure, I can give it back to you now, but on the battlefield, that's a whole different story.
Fine! You don't have to give it back, because I'll take it back myself!
But which general should I call?
Between these two, who do you think is tougher? Don't get me wrong, I'm just curious. It is my first day at the Alchemy Commission. A brawl is definitely not how I imagine celebrating it.
Well, since you don't approve, I won't draw my sword here.
I didn't mean it in that way. Since you've already drawn your swords, you'd be disappointed if you didn't get to test one. I've received reports that the delves near the Alchemy Commission are still infested with abominations. Seems like my predecessors left quite a mess. So, if you two want to determine who's better, why not vote?
Clearing out some abominations? It's the Cloud Knight's duty to eliminate those abominations. You don't have to ask me twice, Miss Lingsha. I'll help you get rid of them.
Oh, you think you're the only one who knows how to behave? If Lingsha needs anything,
I'll gladly. It's so heartwarming to see both of you being so sweet and caring. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were eradicated, their experimental If you want a contest, I'll be the referee. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour.
Lingsha, as always, you're still an expert in making unpaid...
It's for your own good, little Yunli. While you desire to compete against each other, I don't want to see either of you getting hurt.
That's really thoughtful of you, Cauldron Master.
So, are you both ready? Ugh. Looks like my predecessors left quite a mess. Let me say it again. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins. Be careful when you draw your swords, and make sure you don't hurt each other.
Can we start now, Lingsha?
More enemies.
How many can you block? Strike apart!
We have the upper hand. Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good old counter! Time for a buzz.
A one-time enemy! Bladed flight! Notes her sword with ease. Couldn't underestimate her.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Strike apart!
You took the bait. Ready for another? Net markers activated. Time for a good old counter!
Hedge your bets.
Bladed flight! Practice is over. Swords descend!
Watch your head.
Not good. Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good old counter!
A one-time enemy! Strike apart!
You took the bait. Ready for another?
A one-time enemy! Bladed flight!
Can I have fun this time? This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
A one-time enemy! Strike apart!
We have the upper hand.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
Enemy data net marker festival. Time for a good old counter. You took the bait.
How many can you block? Bladed flight! Practice is over. Swords descend!
You took the bait. Time for a buzz.
All or nothing. Time will tell.
Time for swordplay!
Enemy data net marker festival. Time for a good old counter.
I hit the mark.
Another journey begins. Still waters of oblivion.
Strike with heart! Builds her sword with ease. Shouldn't underestimate her.
Sure, I'll play along. Spend freely. The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Free will, or was it fate? Destiny for oblivion.
How many can you block?
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Watch your head.
We have the upper. Enemy data net marker festival. Time for a good old counter.
Hedge your bets.
Time for swordplay. Bladed flight!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Still waters of oblivion.
We have the upper hand.
Sure, I'll play along.
Practice is over. Swords descend!
Enemy data net marker festival. Time for a good old counter.
Another journey begins. Destiny for oblivion.
Enemy targets detected. Ready for another?
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
I won't lose to you when it comes.
Hedge your bets. The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
Commencing support. Enemy data net marker festival. Time for a good old counter.
A one-time enemy!
That's half the work. Still waters of oblivion.
Sure, I'll play along.
A one-time enemy! Strike with heart!
Again. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
I win, Miss Yunli! Why don't you just give me back my sword, sincerely apologize, and then go consider yourself lucky that I'm not interested in your rusty sword. Because I don't have the nasty habit of—
All you did was chop down a few monsters. Don't... If you think you can just take this sword from my hand, go...
Well fought, my young friends. However, both of you have shortcomings. One of you focuses on dodging and weaving, while the other relies on brute strength, trying to take down targets with a single strike.
Who are you?
Me? I'm just a patient seeking medicine from the Alchemy Commission. A passerby, if you will. I thought I'd see my fill of impressive fights during the war dance. Yet here I am, able to witness a remarkable fight at the Alchemy Commission, of all places. Well, the Lawfu is never However, I have a small suggestion for you. Why don't you settle this dispute fair and square in the war dance's ring? That way, you can resolve your differences with a proper duel and put your
Grudges? No, not at all. Yunli and we were...
Sparring? You summoned your flying swords, and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you.
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Feixiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady? Feixiao? Grandpa always talks about you.
The Merlin's Claw of the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Looks like I'm quite famous on the Xianzhou Lawfu, too.
Of course. Everyone has heard of the Great General. Known to all, and unbeknown.
Great General? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Lawfu, so I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Feixiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet? Here's your sword. Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat...
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of divine foresight. Take my leave, General Feixiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite you to the seat of divine foresight for a chat with General Jing Yuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Thanks for stepping in, General Feixiao. Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills. We don't do credit here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of divine foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air. back already? You've met with Jing Yuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you...
It appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Luofu is prospering after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jing Yuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with generals. I'm just a military healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chat.
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals the true measure of power.
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing thanks to your translation. You've made me lose where I was now. Anyway.
Are you treating General Jingyuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Luofu. Do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you. Actually, I've found some leads.
Well, life and death, Zhao Chou. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou spearhead. Hunting down as long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire. I don't care how long I live. You asked if I view General Jing Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been myself.
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Jeez. You really know how to read the room, don't you?
You guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend I've not seen.
Hey! Was that the Yaoqing general who just... I mean, when Yun Li swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked her attack with ease.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive, you know? That aura... You think so too, right? Can't you put a little more enthusiasm into it?
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled sword masters out there, seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel a bit
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can...
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Dan Heng. By the way, now that today's events are over, General Jing Yuan wants to invite all of you to the seat of divine foresight. He has some...
that it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yaoqing and the Juming.
I really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Fei Xiao and Huaiyan can see the truth. We don't need any more chaos on the Luofu before the war dance.